Hello guys, and welcome to another Applied Energistics 2 tutorial video. Today we're taking a look at an old build I made many years ago, but I revisited it to see if I could make an updated version or perhaps a better one. And I think that I have a better version now, and so I would like to share what I did. The fun part is that we're using the assembler in a slightly different way than what you normally do. And then I refer to just like stacking it we get together with your patterns and just doing auto crafting. This is a slightly different take, so perhaps it can be useful. To be honest, many mod packs these days, they have mods like storage drawers where you get nuggets and ingots in the same system, but perhaps you can apply this to some other item or in a mod pack where you don't have such a mod. So let's take a look at what we're doing here, and the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do is to keep 64 nuggets in stock at all times. So if I'm using up nuggets in some crafting recipe, let's say I'm ordering a carrot, then we're going back to 64 again. These are just storage monitors, so they are just here to show how many we have in stock. So they are not required in the build, but it's good for demonstration. Same thing with these two. They are not required. This yellow network is not required. Don't look too much of it. It's just to visually show what we're doing. So I think the old build had its origin in some oreberry bushes. You know, where you got berries and you transformed them into nuggets, and then you got lots of nuggets and you had to manually craft ingots from them. But we are, so regardless of where you get them from, this system would keep everything in balance. So let's say I have nuggets and I just throw them in here. You can see that I have still 64, but I'm getting a few ingots because it's automatically making those. And you could have the same system for ingots to blocks and keeping a certain amount in stock. I don't think it's impossible. Okay, so let's get started. And I just want to mention that this build is doing the exact same thing. I have disconnected it here and here. This part is identical to this. And that part is only to keep a certain amount stocked. I've done this in many videos, and I'll get back to that in just a minute. The difference between this build and this build is that here I try to place my nuggets into an interface. And this is what we normally do when we auto craft. For example, in this build, we have a pattern provider and we have an interface to receive them. But placing a storage bus into an interface, it worked somewhat. I had to, if I just added a few, like one or two under certain circumstances, it worked fine. But if I threw in like 64 at a time, they will end up in the main storage instead. And when I added the ME chest up here as a receiver to store it here, it worked fine, I think, as far as I know. But, and I had a slightly different setup over here. But in the end, I think this design is better. It's simpler to build. It's more logical also. Just exchanging the receiving interface to this chest. So I won't go through that one in more detail. You can probably figure out what I'm what I've done. So let's focus on this one, and I will explain it, how it works. I will show it, and then I will rebuild it in the other world in the end of the video. So first things first, this part. How do we, or how many do we want to keep in stock? So by placing this storage bus, it's a regular storage bus, no priority. It's just a way to take what we have in the interface. The interface is equipped with a crafting card, and I have filtered it to have 64 of each. Same thing here, no priority. That means that when I take out like half a stack like this, we are low. Okay, that was quick. Keep an eye on this part. Let's do like this. I think that's better. When I take gold from here, it will use up ingots and craft new nuggets to place here. So let's take them all. You can see we had 64, we had 0, and now we have 64 again. And the amount of ingots is now less, so let's do it one more time. Okay, so quick, easy, that's for iron and gold, just the crafting card and this part. We've done this before. It shouldn't be news to you. Over here, we have this storage bus. It's the important part. Here I have a priority 100. It's actually enough to have 1 in case you have some other priorities, including nuggets. I think we can keep it at 1 for this demonstration. And I have this at insert only. Could have it bidirectional. It means that if I throw in nuggets, keep an eye on here, you can see that we can see, well, here as well, we have all those 64 and the additional ones because they ended up in here. But I think it's more logical to just insert. And we filter and insert, extract, doesn't really matter if you have insert only. But priority is important. So now that means that when we autocraft by using up nuggets from here, or that we're simply taking them from here, or crafting things using the ones we have in stock, this is where they are put after this. So we order to place them here, and the rest is put over here. Perhaps it is more logical to have bidirectional. I don't know. Let's try it and find out for yourself. Yeah, I think it's logical enough to do it bidirectional. Perhaps it works better. I don't know. Let's continue. We have the chest to receive the items. They're placed here as a buffer chest. It's a quite common way that I use AE2 to have buffer chests. If I can, for some reason, not place them directly into an interface, like in this case. From here, we have an import bus. I have upgraded it with 2 acceleration cards, so it can... I'm not sure. I think it's 8 items at a time with 1 acceleration card. Otherwise, it's like 1 at a time, which is slow. And I think it's 8 and then like double that or something. I'm not sure. It's what I think. But 2 acceleration cards will extract items very quickly from here and place them in these storage buses because we have nowhere else to put them. In this green network, and by the way, this is not required anyway. It's just a test for so we can throw things in here. I mean, like this, and it could come from your berry bushes or whatever you had, and then they are imported in the same way as from here. They are placed with these storage buses. It's the only place they can be placed. So up here, we filter on iron, and we filter on insertion only. This is kind of important, but it's bidirectional. Same thing here, filter on gold, and it's bidirectional. This is the same thing as we did in this build with the processors, if you remember, where we filter it's bidirectional, so the storage bus can extract items from there as well. So we can suck items through the storage bus, filter on insertion. I think this is incorrectly configured. This is how it should be, insertion only, which means that we filter on one item, but we can fetch items from it as well, and we can fetch something else. And that's what we're doing here. We'll place our nuggets. Inside we have a crafting pattern, 1 gold ingot from 9 gold nuggets. And once we fill this up with 9, like this, it will craft an ingot. And it will be stored in this storage. It's basically a 1 slot storage here. And this export bus, just upgrade it with a capacity card and put it in round robin mode. So we're alternating between those so we don't get stuck. And these ingots will be exported when we find them in this green network, which is basically from these two. Export them back, interface to the main network, and now we have a controlled, balanced system. So if I take from here, we will craft, the excess will be placed in this chest, and when we reach 9 of each in here, so as soon as I put 1, 2, 3 in here, they will be put here, waiting. If I place the rest, you can see that we are placing 9 at a time, and they are thrown back into the main network. So this part is optional. This part was only put here so I could, with a storage bus down here, so I could just monitor what's in this chest. It's for debugging. Over here, yeah, as I said, it's the same thing but slightly different. We have export bus on this side for nuggets, and then I had import ingots from here and then storing them in the main network, like import directly into the network. And up here, same thing. But I don't like this build. I like this a lot more. I think it's better and more logical. So I think that's everything about the build. So I think that we will switch worlds and build it in the other world. Okay, so now we're here in the other world where we have a few other tutorial builds, and we have it next to the processor. Let's build it over here in this corner. I hope I have everything, so I think it will be quite quick to do this. So let's begin with the assemblers. These, we need patterns in those. So, which means that we want 1 of these patterns, gold. And iron. Let's do it in the same order. We have iron up there and gold down here. And let's build it backwards so we get the devices in correct positions. 2 storage buses, the upper one with nuggets of iron, and then we filter on insertion and have it bidirectional. Same thing down here with gold. So now we insert nuggets and we can extract whatever we want, but it will only be ingots, of course. And then we had, I think it was down here, where we import everything. We don't even need to filter it because the only thing that will end up here is are the nuggets. So let's do like this. Okay. Storage bus down here. We filter on both of them. We raise the priority. And let's keep it bidirectional and we filter on whatever. I think both will work. Now we only need to send back. So interface. It will not look exactly the same, but it doesn't matter. We export up here. Capacity card and round robin, so we can alternate between these. Like this. And I think we'll do like that. And connect them together. And I think the only thing we need now is power, right? And a few recipes. Okay, I think it was slightly more compact now. So let's see if it works. We need to do a few more things though. Here is a storage bus. Here's an interface. And here I'm keeping 32 of each in stock. So we can just add 64 of these. And we have a recipe for gold, but we don't have for iron. The gold is there because we had a few golden carrots from before. So we need to make like this. So we can craft nuggets and we'll place it over here. So now when we win here, we can craft, let's say we craft 10 of these, which means 18. And here we can see them, and now we're back to 64. So it seems like they were thrown into here. And let's extract all of those. You can see they are crafted up to 72. We had them here. Let's add the storage monitor. Do it like this so we can see all the parts. And we simply place gold down there, iron up here, and then you shift right click to lock them. Now you can't accidentally change what item to show. And let's see. Is it done? You can see it's a bit smaller actually. This is much better. The so-called input chest where you just throw items, it's probably somewhere else. We will, if we do like this, and we search for gold, you can see 64 down here. If you throw them in, we have 128 and we're building ingots. So down here, that's why I had it on the side. Okay, it doesn't really matter though, because we know it's we're using them up. I have bidirectional, so I know that we had more than 64 in total, and now we're back to 64, and these are the only ones. So the same thing with iron. See, we have had 128 for a while. We should get a few more here. 60 and 61. Okay, that's great. So I would say it seems to be working. If we remove these 64, we will have a few less of those while we're adding up, and then balance the 64. And then you might get some back and forth in the end for the last one. It doesn't matter. So it was actually that simple to build it. Can't look at this one. Maybe use another chest if you want to, but since we have bidirectional, you don't need to. You have full control anyway. And I think you can put acceleration cards in these. I think it's worth it. Now if we insert lots of nuggets, it's quite fast. The waiting time for the export bus to remove it from here is not, it doesn't matter if you add acceleration cards, because the only thing that will happen is that you will be able to extract more at one time. The interval when looking for the ingots is the same regardless of how many acceleration cards you have, I think. Okay, that pretty much wraps it up. More compact, very simple to build. These ones, you don't need them. Now when we know it's working, we can just continue with our AE2 world and have this just be in the background and be self-contained. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, you know where to leave them. But thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. So take care, and bye-bye.